good evening, good whenever it is you're tuning in. Welcome to Ticket Price, Ragweed Edition. I am your host, the nasally voice of the show, Jake, and I am sick and tired of this Midwest weather. I am done. It's below 30 in the mornings. We'll get up to like a 70 or an 80, and then overnight we'll dip back down below freezing, and the allergies or the allergens are all over the place. And I'm struggling very hard, but you know what? I am still here. I have not missed an episode because my partner is very demanding, and he doesn't let me. But I'm still here to get the job done and to let you all know if these movies are worth your time and money. In other words, are they worth the ticket price? And who is also with us day in, day out, never misses an episode, but finds no end of amusement in my suffering. Co-host extraordinaire and the only man who has lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes. Tevis at Master Control. Tevis, how are you, sir?
You sound amazing. I love it when you're sick.
You are so mean to me.
It makes me so happy.
I only derive happiness from your misfortune. You know, I think that means you're a sociopath.
It might be a little, but
that just means we've worked together for too long.
I'm doing fantastic.
Kiss my ass. Wait. Nom.
Fantastic.
Thank God Sarah isn't here, because you guys are just dogpile me right now. Damn it,
yeah.
Sarah. I know you're listening, and I know you're wishing you were here to give me a hard time, so sit down and be quiet. Damn it, Sarah. I am here, and I am ready to do my job that I don't get paid for or receive any recognition or accolades, except from number one fan, Kenneth. What up, Kenneth? How are you?
We get comments.
Did you buy me a comet?
Yes.
Or you're like, oh, there's what, Jake floating by. Well, no, I was trying to come up with a sarcastic name that you would call the comet. You know, there's ragweed just going by. Fuck you.
There's sniffle britches.
Sniffle britches definitely sounds like a weird thing you would say to someone who sniffs panties. No, we can't record tonight. My sniffle britches is coming over.
Oh, hell no.
Hell
no.
I mean, I don't like what we're insinuating, but I do enjoy the consensual activities.
Sure.
Hey, honey.
Anyway.
Actually, I just horked something up. Hold on, I'm dying. All right. I'm better. I can't just spit it out, Tevis. I have to be a man. I just have to swallow it down.
Yes.
No one take that out of context.
You do.
Wait a second. Shut up. Shut up.
I didn't say
Shut
anything.
up. Shut up. There is a soundbite that I need everyone to just leave alone. You do not need to save or snippet that and take it out of context.
I performed restraint. You're welcome.
Oh, God. Our next ticket price TikTok is...
Goop.
I swallowed it down like a man. Oh, God. There's so many episodes of penis talk you can work
And
in.
semen. We've done way too many episodes with semen.
Obviously, the worst character is Miggs, the cum thrower. Goop. Swallowed it down like a man. There was nowhere for me to spit it, Tevis. See,
Hang on, I got to make a note. Tap. I'm hacking. Tap.
Oh, you're hacking into the shark network to find the shark that's in the Mississippi.
Yes.
If you lean hard enough into it, you can ruin the fun for everyone, and they'll leave it alone.
I'll have to try that next time. Because I'm still having fun.
Oh, so you're saying our first test didn't work?
No.
All right, we'll have to try to lean harder into it the next time. What are we doing?
A movie.
Yes, we are. We are continuing our Halloween scare-a-thon, Spooktober, rolling on. So, Tevis, I have a major question to ask you. You helped curate these movies. I think you've owned all of them up to this point.
Except Under Paris.
That's true, but that was on Netflix.
That was on Netflix.
And if you have a Netflix subscription, we all have access to it. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Are there going to be any actual like scary movies on this scary movie marathon? Hello?
Is this on?
Smash cut to what was it, Hammond? I really hate that man. I'm just asking. It's scary month. I am the biggest baby for horror movies, and I've been totally fine.
I don't want to run you off.
Okay. Is this gonna be the one? Are you about to light that fire now?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, going into this week's episode, we're looking at Don't Breathe, which is ironic because I can't.
Don't breathe through your nose.
Don't breathe. Well, no, I can breathe through the one nostril.
Is that what that whistling sound is?
That one nostril is just a sieve, right? It's a waterfall, but the other one is the Sahara Desert.
I keep
And
hearing.
there's a big boulder in there, and it's just like, oh, I can't. That one nostril useless. The other one won't stop.
I keep hearing this slight whistle every once in a while, and I think it's my neighbor hollering for his dog. It's like,
that might be me. So mean. That might be me.
what's that character from Winnie the Pooh that whistles when he talks? Is it the beaver?
Or he's a groundhog?
No, groundhog or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
He has the speech impediment.
Yeah. Yeah, and he whistles every once in a
He's
while.
got the big teeth.
That's what you sound like.
Because I have large teeth. Yes, I do have a somewhat pronounced set of front teeth.
I was just talking about the whistling. I wasn't making fun of your teeth.
I hate you. If anyone else wants to come on, do the show, as long as you know how to edit, I can buy Tevis out.
I'm cheap.
Yeah, your girlfriends have told me.
A bag of popcorn? Sold.
Hey, honey, sold. Let's do it. All right. Are you ready? You can make fun of me sporadically throughout the episode. We actually have to get into it now.
Okay. Let's do this.
I'm going to go home and cry.
What are we doing?
Don't Breathe
Okay.
from 2016.
Seems so long ago.
We've ended our streak of modern movies. Although this isn't, for us, this is fairly modern.
Yeah, for us, this
It's
came out
2016,
yesterday.
not 1976 or anything. So, written by Fede Alvares and Rodo Sayagues.
Sure. Sounds good. Nailed it. First try.
Everyone loves my attempts at foreign names, and everyone was probably saying, Jake, just go online and pull up an interview clip where they say the person's name, and I will tell you that I don't care that much. Directed by Fede Alvarez, starring Stephen Lang, our man Stephen Lang.
Stephen Lang.
This is number 3?
Yes.
3 for Mr. Lang. And Jane Levy. Don't Breathe had a budget of an estimated $9.9 million. They're claiming they just got a shy under 10. And a worldwide gross of $157.7 million. We have said it with every movie thus far. You want to make the cheapest movie possible, but guarantee $100 million gross in the box office? Horror movies.
We even said it too. They seem to hit that $100 million mark.
That's the sweet spot.
All the time.
Sweet spot, yeah.
No matter what it is.
Nope.
It's crazy to me. But that's huge.
It's a Netflix movie, and so I don't really know how to figure like what it brought in because it didn't have a theatrical release. But let's just go ahead and assume they made $100 million.
You mean Under Paris?
What did I say?
You didn't say anything. You said this is a Netflix movie, and I was like, Don't Breathe was a Netflix movie?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I Can't Breathe. Under Paris is a Netflix movie. I don't know how to
No,
quantify.
the movie is called Don't Breathe, not I Can't Breathe.
Someone help me. I can't breathe. I'm dying and need assistance. Is that the title of the movie? I'm sorry. Under Paris is a Netflix movie, so I do not know how to figure out how much money that movie made. It didn't have a theatrical release. But given that it's a air quote horror movie, I'm assuming it made in the environs of $100 million.
I believe you are not wrong.
We need to make a horror movie.
Have one in mind.
Do you really?
No.
Oh. We'll come up with
We
one.
will. We'll think of something.
Wait, you're not going to bring up that one. It's about two podcasters. One of them dies. And so with the help of the dead one's ghost, the living one has to solve the murder before he too is murdered. But then there's also a lot of sexually tense human ghost interplay.
And pottery. Yes.
And pottery making.
Absolutely.
I told you I don't want to do that one.
On a mountain.
Why are we in a mountain? I mean, why are the characters on a mountain?
They were cowboys.
They're cowboy podcasters?
They're cowboy podcasters who love pottery. One dies, the other one's sad.
What are my directing notes? You're sad.
You're sad.
Now, action. Continue.
Be sadder. Be sadder.
Easy, Fede Alvares.
That's all your notes you get. I don't believe in notes.
Be sad. God. All right. With 7 award wins and an additional 21 nominations. How do I put this? Okay. Do I even want to talk about it now? I'll mention it. I have realized that I am on a bit of a losing streak with movies. I've been a real downer for a while. Under Paris, Happy Death Day, Long Legs, Veronica, all the Lord of the Ringses.
Oh yeah, you're on a hell of a losing streak.
I am on a losing. I am on like a month and a half, 2-month losing streak. When is the last time I said a movie was worth the ticket price?
Last year.
Wait, when did we do Silence? Oh my God, it was Silence.
Was it really?
Wasn't it?
Because yeah, you're right. Because that's when we did. That was the last one before our anniversary month.
Okay, so God, I'm only 1 2/3 months down as far as not worth the ticket price, and I'm really worried I'm coming off as just that negative jerk who hates everything.
Yeah,
I mean
yeah.
Granted, you could describe me as a negative jerk who hates everything and be right, but I'm not trying to be that guy. I just feel like I've not had a lot of good material to work with.
Maybe that'll change. I don't know.
So, maybe Don't Breathe breaks it. Maybe we'll have to see next week. I don't know yet. Are you ready to get into this?
Let's get into this.
Man drags woman down the street, very Cro-Magnon caveman style.
Yeah, kind of. I was looking for the club.
Right?
Yeah.
How do I put this? I'm just going to touch on now so we can breeze by it. We see Stephen Lang's character, because it's obviously Stephen Lang. Like, we don't see his face. You don't have to see his face.
No.
Dragging a young woman, 19-ish, 18 minimum, because we're not trying to cross any lines or make any statements here, but she's that 18 to 21 range. Fair?
Fair.
To me, this is the spaceship opening of John Carpenter's The Thing.
I knew you were going to say that.
I wish to God we didn't have it.
I do too. I don't think we needed it. I think the director or the writer or both.
Well, wouldn't you know it, the director is one of the writers, which is a red flag for me.
Yeah, they came up with this cool shot idea of the neighborhood that's abandoned and the drone shot of it slowly descending down on them. It was a cool looking shot. I did enjoy the shot. But
Yes.
yeah,
And I get the callback we get later, which we'll get to.
exactly.
But it spoils something.
It does.
It's the devil at minute 23 of Longlegs. Is it not? Does it not take some? Because I don't know what he's doing to her or with her or what. I don't know I don't know what happened. I don't know what his intentions are or what's about to happen. I know it's bad, and now I know he is a bad guy. Does that not ruin the recipe a little bit?
It ruins the recipe a little bit, but I don't think it necessarily says he's a bad guy.
He is dragging a young woman by her hair down a deserted street. There is no good that could come from this.
Well, okay, so this first shot, you kind of think he's a bad guy, but then you find out what this group of youths
Freaking youths
are getting ready to do.
Sure.
So in my mind, I was thinking back when I first watched it, I'm like, oh, maybe he's trying to get all of his money back.
Oh, you think it was a flash forward.
Kind of.
And then when we get to the kids, it's what led up to that?
Yeah, because I think the person being dragged is Rocky.
Except, I'm going to cut you. You know what? I'm going to cut your knees out, Cotton Hill.
Okay.
I'm going to take your ankles out. I get your theory, except your theory doesn't work. Because we see the young lady's face.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see the guy's face, even though it's clearly Stephen Lang. We see the young lady's face, and she does not resemble Rocky.
I think that was Rocky.
No. And I'll tell you this, because when they call it back later, the lady or the young woman being dragged, doesn't have the bruising or facial lacerations that Rocky does in the callback. Because remember, Rocky's got that really horrible black eye. She's got the cuts on her face because she's been through the ringer at the time we get the callback.
Nice. That is who it's supposed to be.
Rocky?
Yep.
But that doesn't make any sense because it doesn't line up. What do you mean that's who it's supposed to be? You did some typing on your laptop there. What did you find?
I hacked into Fede Alvarez's script.
Yeah.
And that's what it's saying is in the opening shot, the aerial shot, blind man dragging a girl down the road by her hair is Rocky. And the movie ends with a return to this shot as Rocky's being dragged down the road by the blind man after escaping.
So, okay, then riddle me this. How does that make sense? So what they're saying is it's a flash forward.
Correct.
Except the flash forward doesn't line up when we return to the shot. Show me a picture. Show me the picture of the girl being. Maybe I am misremembering, and I am prepared to admit that I am wrong.
Well, I don't have a picture.
Because I do not recall the first young woman, having the intense facial bruising or cuts. And if she doesn't have those cuts and the bruising, it's not the same person. Or if it is supposed to be the same person, it doesn't line up and your shot sucks.
I'm going to say continuity error.
So the shot sucks.
The shots, yeah, continuity error.
Yeah, but this is a big continuity error. This isn't Luke not having wet hair. Because we've joked about that in the past.
True.
This is, well, you know what? Let's put a flag in it.
Okay.
And move on for now. We see an older man dragging a young woman by her hair down the street. And who that young woman is anyone's guess at this point. Then it cuts to a bunch of freaking youths, which in my notes, freaking youths, because we see 3 youths robbing a house. Their names are Money, okay. He looks...
He's the worst.
He is the worst of the youths. But his one-dimensional character is Street Punk.
Yeah.
He's gangster.
He's fake tough guy.
Yeah, he's trying really hard to be Tupac or Ice Cube.
Yes.
But he's Ice-T and needs to calm down.
He's ice water.
Yeah.
No.
I'm sorry, not Ice-T.
Because
Ice-T would also legitimately fuck you up. He's Vanilla Ice. That I don't feel good. No, he's trying to be, in his mind, he's Ice Cube, he's Ice-T, he's Tupac. He's Vanilla Ice. He's Milli Vanilli.
Very Milli Vanilli.
He needs to calm down.
He does. Yeah.
Then there's his girlfriend, Rocky. Her role in the group is girl.
Girl, yeah.
She is the token female.
Yes, she is.
Because this is a horror movie. So there needs to be a final girl.
That is true.
Then we have Alex.
Alex, there you go.
Hold on, Alex.
I spit it out.
I understand his role in the group as far as how they rob houses. I don't know his role in this friend group, other than he is simping for Rocky.
Yes.
And I think he's the only person on the planet intimidated by money.
That would be a correct statement as well.
And how this trio has come together, I don't understand.
Well, I think Alex has loved Rocky since they were young.
I get that vibe, yes.
And he's definitely in the friend zone.
Agreed.
And Rocky, is dating Money.
Correct.
So Alex is a part of that group just because he's friends with Rocky.
Right. But he's simping for Rocky.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Okay, now, you know what? This makes me dislike Rocky more.
Okay.
She is now the stereotypical lower class young lady who constantly picks the wrong guy when the right guy, the guy that can make her dreams come true, the guy that will treat her right, the guy that can make her happy is right there. And she ignores it as she probably knowingly, because let's face it, deep down, there's a little knowing in every woman when they make this decision. Knowingly makes the wrong choice. Does this make Rocky a bitch? I kind of think it does.
Well, she's definitely a lot like her mother in that aspect.
Picking the wrong choice?
Right.
Yes. Agreed. Although I do think Rocky's better than her mother. We're not there yet.
Yeah,
or she's trying to be.
She's trying to be.
But you see what I'm saying.
Oh,
I have the stereotypical choice of girl/young woman who she's at a crossroads but doesn't realize it.
But at the same time, she is a younger woman.
Doesn't matter. You can still have taste. You can still see the right choice when it's in front of you.
Yeah, but those freaking youths.
See, you are now trying to say that she's a freaking youth, and that's the argument? Is like, well, kids are going to make the wrong choice. No.
You don't think they've already made the wrong choice by breaking into homes and...
No, I'm talking about love life.
Being friends with fucking money.
Well, she's having sex with money.
Doing anything
and
with money.
No one should have sex with money.
Especially when this jackass is not only breaking into houses, but he's pissing all over the floor, too.
Was he peeing or jerking?
Either one.
We'll get there.
I was trying to avoid the Simmon talk. Because...
Since when?
I'm trying to expand
You're trying
our
to grow.
horizons.
You're trying to grow as a person
Yes,
and as a podcast.
Exactly. And besides, we're going to have the semen conversation.
Yes, we
later.
are. We're not there yet. But no, I'm back to my point. Rocky is at a crossroads, but she does the stereotypical choice, and it's a stereotype for a reason because it exists, and in our current modern culture and society, it's wildly prevalent.
She's made the wrong decision.
If she went with Alex, they wouldn't have to burgle houses. They're not robbing. They're not breaking and entering. They're going to burglarize. Because remember, it goes back to the original Ant-Man movie, when he's like, I didn't rob anybody, because robbery involves like violence or breaking, and he didn't do that. He burgled. This movie's plot has that same device in it of like, they're not robbing. They're
semantics.
They're burglarizing, right? Yeah. They don't rob,
it's
they
not
burgle.
Nearly as bad.
Right. There's no violence involved.
Yeah.
But you get my point. Is Rocky a bitch?
She's just making the wrong decision.
Now, also, is Alex a bitch? And that's the same word, but it's a different meaning. But you know exactly what I'm talking about.
He's making the wrong decision.
Gentlemen out there, brothers, please listen. Do not simp. Have some self-respect. Have a little dignity. Carry yourself with a modicum of confidence. Do not simp. Do not chase those who do not want to be chased. But the thing is, they kind of want to be chased because they like the attention, but you're never going to get anywhere. Don't do it. Do you know how many high-quality women are out there that will actually give you the time of day that you don't have to simp for? Here's what is simping wrong? Yes and no. In the case like Alex, yes. Have a pair of balls, act like a man. Once that fish is on the hook and you've reeled her into the boat and she's yours, you're exclusively dating. You're engaged. You're married. That's when you simp. When she's yours and you treat her the way she deserves to be treated. You do not simp to attract. Because that's not attractive. That's a bad call. It's a bad look, guys. Quit doing it.
So I'm saying he's making the wrong decision.
Freaking youths. And Money's just a train wreck who I don't like, and I really don't care what happens to him.
Money can. Ugh. I already hated this guy anyway from the minute you see him.
Yeah.
And then he talks, and then I hate him even more.
Then he jizzes everywhere.
And then he pizzes everywhere.
The old jizz piz. JIZZ-PIZZ, jizz piz.
Yes. So I hate him even more. And then I see he's got that dollar bill tattoo on his neck. I'm like, I fucking hate this guy.
He also had like a scar tattoo, like the line with the two lines going through it by his ear.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's real dumb.
No, yeah.
So we see these freaking youths. They lockpick their way into a house. Money lockpicks. Alex knows the security code to their alarm, and they shut the alarm off.
Then I think Alex has keys.
Not this first house.
Are you sure? Because his dad is
right. So this is a continuity error. This is another fucking plot hole. I'm about to change. Never mind. Because it's like, well, they shouldn't be taking the song, and we see Money lockpicking.
Okay, I don't remember that then.
I'm pretty sure.
Go ahead.
There's no key, because a key would be in, turn, in, but this is like they're fiddling with shit.
That was at the house with the blind guy.
No,
because he didn't have the right keys.
Right, but this very first house.
Okay.
They also, although maybe he can't get the keys every time. I don't know. They get into the house.
Maybe his key's limp. We don't know.
Well, if you simp, your key is limp. Wait. Oh God, I'm rhyming again. I don't feel good. Now I'm rhyming. They get into the house. They turn the alarm off. Burgle what they need. They don't take money, but they take possessions. Then they reset the alarm, leave the house, relock it. Then when the alarm's activated, throw a rock through the window. But while, Rocky and Alex are being productive, Money's walking around jizz pissing. Okay, we see him holding his junk. We don't see the junk. He's a guy with his hands down around his, he's making the generic, I'm holding my wiener with pose.
Sure.
Then it cuts to an upward shot as he's got a weird face. He's making a weird face. And if he is peeing, it's in spurts.
And he's enjoying it.
Way too much.
Way too much.
But
there's a lot, too.
Does he have colon cancer? Does he have an inflamed prostate?
Either that or eats a lot of bananas.
Does he have some kind of urinary infection and he pees in spurts?
Like Tom Hanks in Green Mile?
Green Mile.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Tevis, I've never peed in spurts.
I don't know. Maybe he's pinching it off. I don't know.
So but then it's almost like he's shaking it around. I'm like, this dude is jerking off.
Yeah, it confused me.
So he's either peeing or jerking it. And I'll let the viewers decide. When you watch this movie, you decide what he's doing. I think he was cranking one out.
Comment down below what he's doing. Please don't. Never mind. Don't do that.
So we learn that the youths are doing all this because they want to get out of Detroit. And I can't fault them for that.
No, I can't. I cannot. I cannot.
You what?
I can't. I can't blame them for that. No, moving on.
Did you say
moving on?
You ca or coo?
No.
Because if there's coot, but if it's ca, that's a very different ending.
Yep. Can't.
And we're not an Australian podcast. People will get wildly offended.
Can't blame them for that. Can't not blame them for that.
Okay.
Moving on.
So we learn, just moving ahead because I don't care about the backstories that much. Money has no one except Rocky. That guy sucks. I don't really know why I don't know why Alex is doing this other than he's simping for Rocky because he lives in a nice home. His father, who is all he has left, and Alex refuses to leave when they're like, we got to get out of, Detroit. And Alex is like, I can't. My dad's here. I got to be here for him, which makes me think he lost his mom. I don't think she left. I think she's gone.
Right.
And he's got to be there for his dad. So they clearly have a decent relationship, and his dad has a good job. I don't know what the hell Alex's problem is.
Juvenile angst.
He's not even angsty. Money is angsty.
You don't think breaking in and stealing is angsty?
Right, but he doesn't act or have any appearance of angst.
Okay.
I think he's slumming it with these people because he has the hots for Rocky.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's doing.
But Alex's dad works at a security company, and he's high enough ranking that on his computer he has access to all of their clients and the security codes to all of their machines. And some of the houses he has access to keys to get into the house. So Money gets tips on houses that are worth hitting. They cross-reference those houses to see who of them has a security machine with Alex's dad's company. And if they do, Alex gets the security code and, if possible, the key, and those are the homes they hit.
Correct.
Then when they're done, they set the alarm off so it looks like a breaking and entering to cover how they're doing it.
Correct.
Okay. So they they get out after that first house. They fence the stuff. Money's not happy with how much they got, and his fence is like, hey, if you want money, steal money. Do you know how much people pay for a stolen Rolex on the street? It's not very much. So now he's like, okay, this isn't, but I believe they're purposely not stealing money to avoid some level of federal, like if they get caught, it won't necessarily be a federal issue. Is that right?
I can't remember exactly what Alex says, but there's a dollar amount that they can't steal, as well as if you steal money, it's a different
it's a different animal.
Yeah. But also that's the dollar amount too makes it a whole different level.
Right.
Because he's very well versed in law.
He's the smart one. He's
Yeah.
the brains. Yeah.
Yes.
He's Donatello. So hot Ninja Turtles reference. You weren't going to say anything about that, so I'm saying it.
Sorry, I was reading something. I was trying to find out some information.
So they get a tip that there's an old man who lives alone who his daughter was killed in a drunk driving accident. And the drunk driver, was the daughter of a wealthy family that paid him off. And that he is sitting on Tevis. Watch yourself now. $300,000. And if they make this heist, they make this burgle and get that $300,000, they never have to do this again. And they can leave Detroit and they can escape to California, and life's a dream. And I thought I was watching True Romance. These freaking idiots, these freaking youths think legitimately,
I mean,
that $300,000 is a life-changing amount of money, and that money will get them anywhere in California.
Yeah, it'd almost get them to California, and then they'd be able to rent a nice cardboard box.
Especially because they're talking about being on the beach. They're going to live on the beach by the water. It's all going to be, perfect weather and beautiful people, and California with $300,000. There's also a huge issue with their plan. They are assuming,
this being youths,
they are assuming that Mr. Old Man with $300,000 has $300,000, sitting on his coffee table? If this guy had a bank account, their plan is screwed.
That's true, yeah.
If this old man was a prepper, like a doomsday prepper, and kept his money buried in his backyard in mason jars, their plan is screwed.
They'd have to find the map.
Yeah.
And then they'd be out in the yard digging.
Yeah. So you can see where this is not a well-conceived idea.
Youths.
Yeah. That's the problem. All right, so they stake out the home. They learn that this guy is a holdout. He lives in a neighborhood. He's the last one there. It's not like it's not like an Up where they've developed the neighborhood and he just won't sell his land like my bro Carl. It's a rundown neighborhood that everyone has abandoned except him. And there's, give or take, a 4-block radius. He's the sole occupant.
Yeah, I like this neighborhood as far as a setting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
It creates that sense of isolation that you almost need to have for a good horror movie. But how do you do it in an urban environment? There's no such thing as isolation in an urban environment.
Right.
But let's go to a completely rundown, abandoned neighborhood. But what if somebody didn't leave? The premise works.
Yes, it does.
While staking it out, they learn he's blind, that he lost his sight in Iraq, and that he has a large dog.
Yeah, so they are going to burglarize.
They're going to burgle.
And steal from a blind military veteran.
With a large dog.
With a large dog.
And because from everything they've learned, he's a shut-in. So they don't want to learn his habits. They're not going to wait to see if he ever leaves. They have decided, except when they first see him, he's taking his dog for a walk, or he's getting groceries, or there's some necessity that's got him out of his house.
Yeah,
They see it once.
I think he's just walking his dog.
They decide we're hitting it tonight. And Alex is like, while he's home? And they're like, he's blind. He'll never know. We'll drug the dog. Money says he'll make a chloroform bomb.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Well, I know what chloroform is.
Yeah, but I've never seen that or heard that
Prior
anywhere.
to this movie, I've never heard of a chloroform bomb.
Yeah.
So they'll drug the dog and him to leave them free reign to find the money.
Money seems like the type of guy who would know how to make people unconscious using medicine.
Using pharmaceuticals?
Yes.
You know what? Let me put it this way.
You don't want to leave your drink unattended when he's at the bar?
I would not be surprised if Rocky repeatedly woke up on different mornings, not really remembering last night's dinner and having a sore ass. I believe or I should say, I would not be surprised if she got British bulldogged.
Okay.
If you do not know what I'm talking about, there was a wrestler, Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog. Look up what ended up being one of the final straws on why his wife divorced him.
Oh, really?
And she had the hemorrhoids to prove it.
Okay.
Spiking the orange juice. Yeah, it's bad.
I did not know that.
Money might partake.
Okay.
But he knows how to render people unconscious with pharmaceuticals.
Yes, he does.
You see him walking his dog. Just fucking wait for him to walk his dog, because you don't have to wait for night. They've established there's no one around to see you. You have an occupant and a large dog. Wait for them to leave. It could be noon the next day. What does it matter?
Does he walk his dog that long, though?
Here's an idea. Find out. They're already scoping out his home, his neighborhood, and him to an extent. Just tail him to figure out how long he walks his dog.
Yeah, Money doesn't want to wait that long.
Plot holes.
So no, I don't think that's plot holes. I think that's just
freaking
youths and Money's greed and lack of patience.
Yeah.
And
wait, you mean the character named Money is greedy for money?
Yeah.
One-dimensional. Excuse me, I said one-dimensional.
Oh yeah, he is definitely a one-dimensional character. Which is fine with me on this guy, because bye.
So they're going to hit it that night. He's going to be home. Doesn't matter. They get their drugs. Pharmaceuticals. And they go in to get it done. They put some pills, or a pill and a piece of meat, give it to the dog. He takes a snooze. Then they go to approach the door. Now, the old blind man did not give a key to his house to the security company, which they don't talk about or find out until they're at his front door. You think, because we see them text multiple times, Alex would go, hey guys, let's hit the pause button. This guy does not have a key. He did not give a key to my father's company. Let's scope things out a little more. But he doesn't do any of that. They go in, and then when they're at the front door and they're like, Alex, open the door, he goes, oh, by the way.
I thought they had a key, but the guy had extra locks on the door.
Oh, okay. Maybe that, because he has 4 locks on his front door.
Yeah.
So Alex has a key,
yes,
but not the other keys.
Yeah, not all 4. It's like he didn't finish the quest.
He didn't find the hidden treasure chest behind the piranha plant on top of the thing.
Exactly.
I
don't remember what video game it was I was playing. but I went through all this shit to get to this location, and then the person behind they're guarding the door was like, "Oh, now you just have to find 3 different pieces of this one key that got broken and spread out throughout." I'm like, "Nope." Shut the damn thing off, because I'm like, I'm so done with this son of a bitch. I'm not gonna. No,
Now, wait a minute. Was this a game you were enjoying up to this point?
it was,
I feel like you're overreacting.
but it got to the point where I had played it so long, and I thought I was almost done, and I probably would have went and done it and got one key.
Sure.
But when they're like, no, the key got broken into multiple pieces, and now you have to collect all 3. I'm like,
how dare they give you content?
I am so done. I can't. I wish I could remember the name of that game.
In my head, I can think of like 5 different games where it's like you have to reassemble the key.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous.
Actually, I can think of 5 Resident Evil games where you have to assemble the key. Well, you see, you have to get the emerald and the sapphire, and then you have to go to the closet. You have to put the thing which makes the statue turn around. Then there's a bust of a tiger, and then you put the emerald and the sapphire in the tiger's eyes, and his mouth opens, dropping a ruby. Right?
Oh,
then you
yeah.
put the ruby in the grandfather clock, and that'll give you an emblem. Then you put that emblem above the mantelpiece, and that'll give you a key. And now you've got the clover key. So now you can use the clover key to go back to the attic. And anyone who's played or watched a Resident Evil game is dying right now because everything I'm saying is spot on.
Yes.
The hunt for keys. Also, there are zombies, but it's mostly keys.
Yes, keys and spray cans and flowers.
They're herbs.
Flowers.
There's no flower.
It hasn't bloomed yet.
Not everything blooms except fucking ragweed.
I think that's what it was in Resident Evil, was ragweed.
They're just, wait, you mean those monsters are just eating ragweed? Horrifying. So you're right.
That's why they walk around going,
No, I mean the human monsters are
Oh.
just eating ragweed to heal themselves. So they do not. So they're like, crap. How do we get in the house? We don't have lock or keys for all the doors. So they're like, we'll go around to the side. The dog's asleep. Try the side door. That didn't work. All right. Ooh, there's a cellar door. And Money's like, ooh, it's only got a latch. I can feel it. But he's unable to get it. So then they're like, oh, look, there's a window up there. It's small, but Rocky could fit through it. And Alex is like, guys, we'd have to break the window, send her in by herself. And because he's blind, the homeowner's blind, he has a device that it's a remote that will let you turn on and off the alarm as long as you're within a certain proximity, and Alex has the alarm remote. So they'll have to give Rocky the remote, break a window, send her in to a house that is occupied by herself. And Alex goes, no way. We don't know what's in there. This dude could be watching TV, and she just shows up next. No. Money says, shut the hell up. They're doing it. Rocky says, it'll be fine. I can do it. She's politer about it, but it's the same answer.
Yeah. She wants that money.
Well, she's already doing it.
And the one in the house.
Oh, yeah. Doing him. For reasons I don't understand. How is this guy getting women? But whatever. She breaks the window and sets the alarm off. I'm going, oh my God. Also, though, the alarm is oddly quiet.
I think it's on like a timer. So you have to, in order to shut the alarm off, it'll like make a little beep, 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 beep sound. So you have time to go over and put the code in.
Yeah, but a window broke.
Yeah, same thing.
That seems like a bad security system.
Possibly.
That's also not how security systems work.
Possibly.
Because I will tell you for a fact.
Possibly.
If you break a window, go into a home, there is a 30-second countdown. But that alarm is active.
Yeah, until you put in the code.
Right, but it's the full alarm. Wah, 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 or whatever the tone is.
Yeah.
Because the security company is waiting to make the 911 call or send the information as soon as that timer is down. and also to alert anyone in the house something's amiss.
Possibly.
But yeah, just keep a pin that all of a sudden there's no noise. She wanders around in the dark, turns the alarm off. And while she's doing this, they do something cool, and then they do something lame. Something cool. There's no sound other than the alarm beeping, Rocky breathing, and then her moving around. You hear her crunching on broken glass. You hear the larger piece of glass that's stuck to the bottom of her boot, and every time she steps, crunch, crunch. That's really cool. I like this.
I did too.
What's not cool? She's looking for the box. She checks it here. And it's like a tool room or a back door. It's like where the back door is. So it's like that mud room kind of a thing. And for no reason, we get a camera push-in shot of a hammer sitting on a tool wall. Why would we need that? Obvious foreshadowing is obvious. Then she's walking around and hears the piece of glass on the bottom of her boot and like picks it off and drops it. And tink, tink, tink. And that's cool because the sound effect is cool. And then she moves on and the camera doesn't follow her. It pushes in on that piece of broken glass. I'm going, obvious foreshadowing is obvious. Stop it. This is dumb. We don't need this.
It wants to remind you, hey, don't forget.
This is important.
This is here. This is here.
Go back to Silence of the Lambs.
I was just thinking the same thing with the gun in the kitchen.
How awful would it have been if Wild Bill put his gun on the stove to talk to Clarice, and then while they were talking, there was this huge and unnecessary camera push-in of the gun on the stove?
Yeah.
Stop.
I agree.
We don't need this.
Yeah. Or when he's clearly gone through the kitchen and went into the basement and the gun is gone.
And then it zooms
in onto the empty stove. Like, remember?
And there would be some sort of like outline of like, all the bread crust and, seasoning leftovers because Wild Bill does not clean his stovetop. I don't believe that for a second. So there would be some outline of like a gun was here, right?
It glows a little bit just so you
remind
the audience.
Tevis's video game he threw away.
Gun was here.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, it was a little unnecessary. I agree.
Little?
Yeah, unnecessary.
Just unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
Yes. She walks around, finds the alarm, gets it with the remote, and then unlocks the back door, right?
Right.
Or no, because the back door is locked. How does she get the guys in?
I think she just unlocks the back door. Honestly, I can't remember.
It's not padlocked yet, is it?
No, it's not padlocked yet.
She unlocks the back door, lets the guys in. They take their shoes off. They begin creeping around looking while Money goes upstairs looking for the blind man to drug him.
I really like what they did with the camera movement.
Which one?
The one that's going through the house.
Push in of the...
Yeah, the push in on the obvious door lock. No, the camera movement going from floor 1 to floor 2. And it goes up and it goes through the floorboards so you can see in between.
Oh, yeah.
In between the levels. And then it goes up to the old man's bedroom. And then it swoops down underneath the bed. It shows that the gun is there.
Yeah.
And it comes back up around. And that's when it shows Money in the bedroom.
But again, it doesn't just show that there's a gun there. It egregiously shows that there is a large revolver taped to the underside of this guy's bed.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't need to hold on to that gun for like 45 minutes, but
they do.
But they do. It's there for a little while.
And we see the old man sleeping with home video playing in his room. How do I put this? I loved this. Actually, this whole sequence I did genuinely really enjoy. Money's in there to drug him. We see this old man. He's asleep in his bed. We know his daughter was killed in a drunk driving accident. And he's watching old home movies of her. And he has fallen asleep listening to her voice. And you know that this is you just know, you could feel it, that this is a daily occurrence.
Oh, yeah, this is his nightly routine.
And it's heartbreaking.
It is.
There's also they hard push in on so much shit that ruins it that I'm surprised they didn't do it here. There's a great piece of using your setting to build up your character. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm almost positive I know.
You're
exactly
looking at the TV, you see Money, he's looking around the room, he sees the old man, the TV's on, but if you just happen to glance, there is an outline on the wall of a large cross that had been taken off. And I actually really did. I liked that.
I like
because
that a lot.
now we know that this guy was religious, but from what he's been through, no, that shit's fake.
Yeah, that was a great show me, don't tell me.
Yes. And it pays off later when they do tell you, which I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Okay.
But the fact that it is set up well makes it less of an issue, I guess. But that was cool. This whole sequence.
Yes.
So then Money's getting the bomb ready. He's getting it all mixed up. He's getting it ready. And then as he looks up, the blind man just sitting there looking in his general direction. Oh,
yeah.
I went, oh,
so did I.
And then he raises his arm, turns off the TV, lays back down. And I went, that was good. I liked that.
Yes.
Then Money.
I puckered a little.
Yeah, you just went.
Yeah, I did a lot. I did that a lot in this movie.
Money drugs him, goes downstairs. Money is the worst.
Yes, absolutely.
The smoke is filling the room. Just now. He immediately goes downstairs. Sup, bitches?
Yeah, slams doors.
He's slamming doors. He's yelling. Because he's like, we drugged the dog, the old man's drug. We could do whatever we want. And they're like, shh. Rocky and Alex are both like, dude, you need to shut up. You need to stop what you're doing right now. Because no.
Yeah, he is a dumbass character.
Yes.
And I hate him.
So they're looking around. They can't find the money, nor can they really find anything of worth.
Correct. Money sees the locked door.
The door leading to the basement is padlocked. And they all go, oh, obviously. Go through the locked door, which I can't fault their logic here.
Right.
I can't fault Money. Their key doesn't work. And he's like, oh, I got something. He pulls out a little crowbar, can't get the lock jimmied off or broken off. So he's like, you know what? I got a bigger tool for this. And he pulls out a handgun. He's got a 9mm Beretta gangsta style.
Did I mention I hate this character?
I don't think so.
Okay. I hate this character.
And now Rocky and Alex are both going, no, you have changed everything that we're doing right now by having a gun with them on his person. That changes everything. Alex even tells him, doesn't matter what we steal. If we get caught, you have a gun. We're screwed. Not only that, he can legally kill us.
I was getting ready to say the same thing.
He can legally kill us. We have a firearm and we're in his home. And if he were to kill us, there's no investigation. There's no trial. There's no nothing. A man defended his home from freaking youths that were armed. And Alex is like, you have changed everything. We cannot do this. Rocky's even going, Money, what are you doing? You've never shot a gun before in your life.
He's gangster.
To which he drops the immortal line, well, I guess it's time to pop that cherry. Gross.
I hate this guy so much.
So he then uses the old, and this is a Hollywood thing, right? He
Yep.
uses the old empty water bottle silencer
Oh yeah, I
trick.
think so. Yeah.
So then it sounds like a silencer from like a James Bond movie, or like, remember Goldeneye on the N64?
N64.
That's what it sounds. And he shoots the lock off. Well, we're officially there. Alex is out. He leaves.
Yeah, he does. He gets
And
out of there.
At this point, I'm actually going, good for you, brother. Get out of there.
Yes.
No. You have a plan. Now, I'm a grumpy old man, and I hate these freaking kids, and I disagree with what they're doing and why they're doing it. But they have a system. Money has now taken upon himself to go rogue and breaks the system. Alex dips. Good for him. Fuck this guy.
Yeah. Rocky still wants the money so she can take care of her sister, but
Right. And we get a glimpse into her house where her mom is a deadbeat. Her mom's boyfriend is a deadbeat. The only one in the house worth anything is her little half sister. I'm assuming half sister. It doesn't specify, except for the fact that Rocky has blonde hair, the mom has blonde hair, but the boyfriend is brunette and the sister is brunette. And we don't actually know how long Rocky's dad's been gone.
yeah, they don't really specify.
So
that I caught.
My headcanon, half sister, but it doesn't matter. Sister is sister.
Sisters.
And there's some dialogue that's reminiscent of Rob Zombie's Halloween, and that's not a positive. And we're just moving on. So I get Rocky's gung-hoedness to get out and to get her sister out.
Yeah.
She wasn't pulling a Where the Crawdads Sing and just leaves her younger sibling.
Mm-hmm.
No, the plan is to take the sister with her. Yeah. She's not a complete piece of shit. She's just kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's kind of borderline, maybe tropish.
As far as
I'm doing this to, help my sister and, give her a better life.
Yeah, but also for herself.
Yeah.
I mean, she makes it very clear it's for both of them.
Yes, but it's kind of a trope almost.
This movie has a lot of tropes,
yeah,
especially with its characters.
It does.
Now, here we are.
But it works. This, with the little sister, it works.
We don't care about her. I don't care about the little sister. I don't care about either of them. I don't care about money. I don't care about Alex. From what I've seen, I want to care about the old blind man. Except we saw the old blind man in the very beginning of the movie dragging a girl by her hair. And that can only be bad.
Yes.
So now I can't like him.
Except maybe it was fast forwarding.
Right, but we don't know it was fast forwarded.
That's true. But now we learn that's what they're there. The youths are there for, to get the money. So maybe.
Yeah, but no one's thinking about that opening scene.
That's true.
All we saw was this guy dragging a young woman by her hair down a deserted street.
I'll give you that.
So here's part of the issue. We have 4 characters. 3 are one-dimensional. The only one who isn't is the old blind man. However, we cannot root for any of them. Or at least it's very, very difficult to. Because they're all bad people doing bad things.
Correct.
I don't care if they have good reason. Because their reasons aren't that good to do what they're doing. And we are not introduced to the reasons before we are introduced to the means. And this is very important. We do not see Rocky's home life before we see her break into the house. We see her break into the house first. Oh, she's a thief. Gross. How much of a lowlife do you have to be a thief? My personal opinion on murderers is higher than thief. Right? Now we automatically kind of dislike this character. or the trio.
I agree.
The trio.
Oh, absolutely.
We have a
the trio.
stigma.
Yeah.
Rocky's the only one we actually learn who may have decent reason to be empathetic for her, but it doesn't matter. We get it too late. They swapped the order. The empathy comes after we have a jaded opinion. The empathy needs to come first so we care about the character. Then, after we care about the character, then we see what she's doing. Now, we don't have a jaded opinion dampening our feelings for her. They're not dampening our empathy for her. If you had done it the correct way, our empathy is now justifying what she's doing. Instead of jaded reaction ruins connection to character lessens our negativity towards her doing something wrong. The empathy has to come first. And it doesn't for any of them. We should care that this old man who lost his daughter, who's lost his faith, that lives alone in his misery, is just that. But we can't. Because whether it's a flashback, a flash forward, or somewhere in the middle, it doesn't matter. We see him dragging a young woman back to his house by her hair. No good can come from that. Now we know he's also a bad guy. We have a movie of bad characters that we do not feel for. This movie ruins its empathy. There is an order of operations. Writing, especially writing characters, as much as I know this will be disagreed with by the artists out there, by the passionate writers out there, there is an order of operations, like an algorithm. You have to do certain steps first. And that very first step should be establishing empathy.
I kind of wish they would have eliminated that opening scene.
Oh, 100%. Agreed.
Because then we would have flip-flopped a lot easier, I think. We would have went into it caring for the old man.
Right.
And then flipped to care for the actual kids.
Let me ask you this, though. Do we make that flip? I didn't.
I did.
I know I'm supposed to,
yeah,
but I didn't. Because they got what they deserved. Because now my first... You don't get a second chance at a first impression.
I get that.
My first impression is these kids are assholes and and they deserve what's coming.
That's what I felt with Money.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Imagine what this movie would be, what our feelings would be. Take out that opening scene. Get rid of it.
I feel like we're doing final thoughts.
A little bit. But no, seriously, think about it. Get rid of that opening scene. That's not there. Then we flip our introduction to Rocky is at home. And her mom says, well, then you pay the bills. I know you're making money. Oh, honey, your lips look a little tired. Is that how you're making it? And then she makes the blowjob,
gross,
jerking off into her mouth hand motion thing. And we see Rocky ignoring that while trying to be a good big sister and parent to her little sister. Okay, man, Rocky doesn't deserve this. What the hell is this? Then we see she's got nothing else to do, nowhere else to go. She's resorting to what she has to do, and that's burgle homes. And we see why she's doing it. Then we get the how they're doing it. They're making sure they don't hurt anybody. They're hitting homes that are connected, but you get my point.
Right.
Now we have empathy for Rocky and I guess a little Alex, and no one cares about money. It doesn't matter what you do, no one's going to care about money. And we care about the old man. Now they're in the home. Alex dips because Money pulled a gun. F him. We didn't like him anyway. But we see and understand Rocky's drive to stay in the home to see this through. But they're robbing this poor old man who's lost everything. He's got nothing. And now we're caring simultaneously about Rocky and the old man. And we are conflicted about which one we're rooting for more. That's what we should be doing here.
When we touch on our history with this film.
Oh yeah, that's what I knew I was forgetting.
Yeah.
You didn't say anything.
I know, I just now thought of it.
You have to make a note.
When we touch on our history with the film at the end here, I will hit on what my feelings were about this whole situation.
Sure.
So we're at the point where money has shot the lock. Alex is dipped.
Correct.
Then the old man wakes up.
So, yeah, we'll put a pin in my tirade. We'll get back there. Am I wrong, though?
A little bit.
You think?
A little bit. And I'll tell you why.
Okay. So, Alex dips. Money shoots the lock. The old man comes downstairs. Who's there? He's awake. Because, apparently, Money literally can't do anything right.
Well, I'm sure the dosage to knock out the old man is not the same to knock out Rocky. So Money was conflicted there. He's got screwed up.
His math was wrong.
His math was wrong.
There's some.
He was thinking retail math.
Yeah,
you know.
There's some words exchange. Stay where you are. Don't fucking move. I'm just gonna leave. Who else is here with you? It's just me. But Rocky's voice is really shaky. And the old man knows this.
Oh, you mean Money?
I'm sorry, yes. Money's voice, while holding the gun on the man, is really shaky. And the old man realized, he can hear it. He knows this.
He can feel.
He keeps pushing forward. He keeps approaching, and Money's like, stop moving. I'm not kidding. The old man is like, dude, he's a war veteran.
Yeah, he knows more than Money will ever learn.
Reaches forward, feels the barrel of the gun, and then proceeds to take the gun and beat the shit out of Money.
Well, he steps on the lock.
Right.
Too, so he realizes
the basement is open. Then Money also says, we know your secret. We know what you have down there.
Yes. Dumbass.
So the old man gets the gun, asks Money who else is here. To Money's credit, he says it's just me.
Yes.
To which the old man shoots him.
Shoots him in the face.
Like up under, not under the chin, but like the side of the jaw, like side of the neck, under the jaw, up into his head.
And his cheeks kind of do that blow up motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And Money's out instantly.
He did.
Rocky freaks out, but realizes she got to stay quiet.
Yes, she
does.
And
hides in the closet. And you see the old man is now angry that he had to do what he had to do. He's not, I guess on one hand, he's not a killer, but he's also not afraid to do what he has to do.
I took it as, not at the moment that it happened, but later on when we learn what we learn, I took it as he's pissed off that he had to do it, because now he either has to notify the police that someone was there and he had to kill them, or he has to get rid of the body.
Right.
Not so much that, I had to kill this stupid ass punk kid.
I'm going to say a bit of both.
Okay.
I think a bit of both, because I don't think he wanted to do it. If that basement had not been touched, if Money had not said anything about
just let him go?
I think he would have let him go. I do.
Okay.
Now we see the old man trying to kind of get the body ready for disposal. He puts the bag over the head to collect the blood. He goes into the closet where Rocky is hiding. And hands over mouth and nose. She's trying to be as quiet as possible. And he punches out a section of wall. And inside the wall is a safe. And that's where the money is. Rocky sees this memorizes the 4-digit combination, and as the old man goes to dispose of the body, Rocky opens the safe and takes out the cash and loads her little bag with it.
Yeah, in the meantime, Alex hears the gunshot.
He hears more gunshots than he was expecting to hear.
Yes. And he comes back.
He can't leave Rocky.
He can't leave his love.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's what she is. She don't give a shit. But he gets back in the house. And, let's see. Kicks Money's ass, kills him. They steal the money. They need to get out. The old man has, while walking around, and while Alex is there, learns the back door is unlocked and locks it with a padlock. They can't go out that way. And they're ducking and dodging, trying to avoid him as he's walking around his house. He then gets aboard and nails shut the broken window Rocky went through. So that way's out.
I like these moments where he's running through the house trying to fix all this shit and shut doors and everything.
Yeah.
And they're like in the hallway right next to him and he walks right by him and it's very tense.
Oh, the tension is great.
Yeah, the tension is racking it
up. So they're like, we have to go to the basement. We have to make it to that cellar door.
Yes.
That's our way out. So they go into the cellar. This place is a labyrinth of garbage, of hoarded crap. But while walking around, they got the light on, and then all of a sudden, a tied-up girl tries to murder them. The number of times I've been attacked by a tied-up girl in a basement.
Okay. Well,
if I had a nickel for every time I was attacked by a tied-up girl in a basement, I would have 2 nickels.
We'd have $267.
I would have 2 nickels.
And 5 cents.
You're stepping on my quote. Shut up. I don't even care. It doesn't matter.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So she sees that they are not the blind man, and they see a girl straitjacketed, or not straitjacketed, but she's got a harness of some sort.
Like a sex swing.
A little bit.
Kind of.
A little bit. It's not great. Tied up in a fortress of pillows to dampen sound, and she's gagged. And they both just go, oh, fuck. I like, Alex, we need to leave right now. And Rocky's like, well, we can't just leave her. We'll call the cops. It doesn't matter. She's fine. We just need to leave.
Yes.
So they get her. Rocky says, no, they got to get her out too. So they untie her, get her off the restraints. She can't walk. And we learn, because she is showing them while still tied up, like pleading with them to help her. She was the drunk driver that killed the blind man's daughter.
Correct.
So they get her undone. They go to leave. They find the cellar door. Unfortunately, it's padlocked. They couldn't feel the padlock. They just felt the deadbolt.
This movie gives you a whole lot of ups and downs as far as them trying to get out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we have this idea. Oh, shit, that's not going to work. Oh, we have this. Okay, it's going to work. Oh, no, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It was borderline almost ridiculous. I think if they would have done it one more time, I would have been like, okay, for the love of God, come on.
Right. Just get out of the house.
Just get out of the damn house. But it works.
I did write, and I have it in my notes, and I remember telling Anna, I actually really enjoyed, I guess what you would call the staging of this movie. How the rooms flow throughout this house, the way the exits work, what they try, when they try it.
Oh, okay.
And then cellar door, hidden padlock. Oh, we got to go here. Oh, we don't have the key, or there are more keys than we realize. And then, oh shit, we tried this. And then, you know what I mean? the way they flow throughout the house is they're not really exploring it. They're just going for whatever exit they can find. I actually thought it was really cool. That takes a lot of planning and timing to map that out. And I thought that was cool. I respect that.
Yeah, I agree.
They open the cellar door and are greeted with gunfire.
Yeah, he pops up out of nowhere.
He's in the backyard waiting for them.
Like pops up like a Dollar General, just out in the weeds of some small town. Just like, hello,
Dollar General. And just blanket open fires into this doorway, grazing Alex's ear, missing Rocky completely, and definitely doesn't miss the tied up girl.
Yeah, she got one. She took a bullet.
At least
One.
And dies instantly. The old man comes down the stairs. Looking for who he hit. If he hit anybody. Finds a body, gets feeling around, and realizes who he hit. And begins to cradle her in his arms. And he's not screaming. It's almost like this weird animal, like, groaning. Like, just...
Yeah, he's a bit upset.
A little bit. Well, they can't go through the cellar door because he's in front of it. Back upstairs. So we go back upstairs.
They attempt it. He shuts the lights off.
Right.
In the basement.
And, oh, that's right. So he kills all the basement lights.
I really like this.
And now they're fumbling around in the dark. And this is tense as hell.
Yeah, and I like that the camera shifts. It doesn't go like extremely dark or we can't see anything as the audience, or like the blue, at night they do the blue sometimes.
Or the green night vision.
Yeah. It goes to like black and white.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. I love it. Because we as the audience need to see too, like the blind man standing in the corner as they're approaching this corner. They do that a few times.
Right.
And I'm like, oh God, he's right there. He's right there. He's right there.
So like one of the times no one can see, Rocky is looking for the way out, but with like anyone when they can't see, she's walking very slowly with her hand out in front of her, trying to feel if she's going to walk into something.
Yes.
Except what we see is the camera is behind her. She is now walking towards the blind man with a gun, and she's definitely about to touch him.
Yes, she is.
Which would definitely get her killed. And you're just going, oh God, oh God, oh God. But at that point, that's when Alex is like, Rocky. And he opened fires in a different direction, sparing her. And we get some cat and mouse. It's cool.
Yeah.
They make it upstairs, though.
Yes.
And we are greeted to the fact that, God damn it, money cannot do anything. They're like, maybe
he can die. That's about it.
Maybe they can get out upstairs, right? Who greets them upstairs? The dog.
It is a big ass dog.
Rottweiler? Yeah.
He is a monster.
Beautiful dog.
Beautiful dog.
Rottweilers are beautiful dogs.
He's a monster, though.
He's a big boy. And so now they're being chased by this dog. And I actually, throughout this movie, really enjoyed this dynamic.
Oh, with the dog?
With the dog.
Yeah.
Because they do a really good job at introducing the dog at really key moments that make sense and add to the tension.
Yeah, because we almost kind of forget about him.
Yeah, because he's drugged.
Yeah.
And we don't think about it. You don't see him again. And then all of a sudden he's there and you go, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Then the movie does an equally good job at bringing the dog in when they need to, but then in a realistic way that makes sense, the freaking youths think they've taken care of the dog, trapping it or doing something, and then the dog keeps getting out. And then the dog keeps reappearing.
Yes.
So now we don't have two kids trying to escape the old man. We have two kids trying to escape the old man and his large, angry dog. And it's good because you're just like, oh God. So the dog chases them into what ends up being the daughter's bedroom, and they move a huge armoire dresser in front of the door as the dog is trying to get them. Looking around, one window is boarded up, one window has bars. I remember I looked at my wife and I went, 100% at this point, I'm throwing myself through the boarded window because that board will not withstand the impact, the velocity. Even someone as small and meek as Alex or even Rocky, that plywood would give way. They could get out.
Have a better chance than the bars.
They're going to have a really ugly fall. But if my options are rough landing, being mauled by a large dog, or gunned down by a blind man, I'm taking the fall.
Taking the fall. Yes.
Gravity is the least of my concerns right now. But they don't. They see a air vent. And I went, oh, now here comes Die Hard.
Absolutely.
Because it just so happens that this house has vents large enough to accommodate an adult.
You didn't know that all houses in Hollywood
or Florida
have vents large enough for people?
Yeah, but they're in Detroit.
Yeah, but no, in Hollywood as a whole, like Hollywood movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. What were you thinking?
I thought you meant actual, literal Hollywood, which is why I made the Florida comment about vents and secret passageways and
lotion
and baby oil and things big enough for a person to get through. I thought you were making a witticism about Hollywood, the place and the population of, not movies.
Yeah, no, I was doing the whole movie thing.
See, you didn't say movies, though, and I misunderstood what you meant by Hollywood.
I misunderstood what you misunderstood, but then I figured it out.
I think we're there. I think we got there.
Yes.
In movies, air vents are large enough to house full boxcar races.
Yes.
So Rocky is escaping through the vent. The old man, attracted to the noise of his dog. But again, the dog is so useful here as a plot element. Because, the old man knows exactly where they are. The dog is telling him.
Yes.
So he goes to open the door, can't. So he's trying to break the door down. Alex is trying to hold the door closed to give Rocky time to go through the vent. Rocky's in the vent. Blind man gets through the door. He and Alex have a scuffle. And I was going to bring it up earlier. We'll bring it up now. They're fighting. And the blind man knocks him through the board.
Yes.
Through the boarded window.
Yes, he does.
And Alex has an ugly fall.
Onto the roof.
Onto the glass roof of the mudroom.
Yes.
Attached to the back door. And again, I appreciate how these different elements of the house interconnect.
Yeah, it is kind of cool.
It's cool.
It flows really well. And you always know where the characters are in the house.
And in relation to possible exits, what has been sealed off, what hasn't. And again, this is something I really appreciate because that is hard to do.
Yes.
That's actually really tricky to pull off right, and it makes sense. And this movie does a good job of that. Alex is unconscious, and as the old man looks out the window, wait.
And I don't know why he didn't see him. He's right there. God, are you blue?
Are you blue? That's my bad. I can't think of the channel, and I wish I could because these guys are hilarious, the bits I've seen. And I want to give proper credit, but it showed up on my reels. And it's these two guys talking, but what they ask each other ridiculous questions. So one was like, if a deaf person stands trial, is it still called a hearing? And that is,
my God.
If a blind person travels overseas, can they still say they went sightseeing?
God damn.
I don't know. Please find them. If you look it up, you'll find it immediately. They are hilarious. I'll tell you the one. It's somewhat inappropriate, but it's perfect for us. I laughed my ass off. And then everyone I showed it to laughed their ass off. If I snap my fingers, Tevis, you'll forget you were gay.
I'm not answering the question. I'm not saying a word.
So in the video, the guy's like, wait, you can't just do that. I just did what, but I was never gay. Exactly. No, wait a minute. I was not that. That's right. You can't just do Correct. That was so funny to me. Those guys are hilarious.
I'll have to check them out.
After we're done recording, I'll pull it up so you can we'll find the name so we can give credit. Alex falls out the window. Now, again, Rocky should be safe. Old man's not going to find her. She's quietly sneaking through a vent. He's not going to know to look there or check there. Oh, wait. Who could A, track her, and B, fit in the vent? Here comes that big-ass dog.
Yes.
And now, so you've got Rocky. She had crawled through the vent and it reached a point where essentially it dips down to the first floor. But again, sort of like Die Hard, there's another opening she can kind of get to, but not really. So she's got to try to make this gap, but she's trying to figure out how to do it when all of a sudden she hears the heavy panting and growling of a big dog coming for that ass.
This disturbed the hell out of me. Just that dog all hunched over and just running towards her like I got lunch.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you're
just like, oh my God.
And you're just going, oh God, oh God. Because it's claustrophobic, but then it's also terrifying of the attack dog aspect. This is working on multiple levels.
Oh yeah, I definitely didn't like the very enclosed space.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of getting into spaces where I can't move freely.
Yeah.
And this very much hit on that.
So then it cuts. We get back to Alex. He's waking up on the cracked glass ceiling of the back door area.
This gave me very much the Jurassic Park Lost World vibes.
Yes, that's a good. Yeah. When
the best part of that whole movie, by the way.
Oh, far and away.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You mean it wasn't the gymnastics fighting of velociraptors?
Let me rephrase it. Second best part of that
movie.
They
cut you from the team? God.
That was the greatest moment in Jurassic Park history. Fuck the T-Rex at the paddock. Give me that little bitch doing some somersaults.
Wait a minute. What about Jurassic Park 3, though, when Dr. Grant's having that nightmare?
Wake up, Alan.
And then the velociraptor catches up to him and then turns, and then in an overly puppety way goes, wake up, Alan.
That's the second best part in Jurassic Park history.
Oh, but the first is still the gymnastics.
Yes, first is the gymnastics.
The uneven bars to fight the velociraptors. So, Alex is trying to carefully get off this glass so it doesn't break. But as he's moving around, you hear the glass crunching, and the broken glass from the window is crunching. The window he's on is cracking more.
Great sound.
The sound the sound design in this movie is fantastic.
Yes, it is.
But who's there waiting for it? Still listening out the window is the blind man, who draws the gun and then opens fire into the general area, to which misses Alex, except he now falls through a broken window again and lands on broken glass again and lands, in the back door area.
Fantastic.
Oof. I'm not gonna lie, it knocked the wind out of me just watching him fall.
Yes.
Then we cut back. Dog's hot on Rocky's tail. She's got to move. She goes to make the connection, messes it up, falls. Well, she's away from the dog at least. Definitely lands on her neck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Thank God her neck was there to break her fall.
It's like Brock Lesnar doing the moonsault.
Yeah. Hey, it was a shooting star press, which is way more complicated.
I'm so sorry.
So then she finds the vent grate that leads outside. So she's busting that out. And as she busts it out, then all of a sudden, this huge arm comes through the drywall, grabs her, and pulls her back into the house. Oh,
Almost.
He
popped up again.
Oh, this is what I was going to say. I'm working on getting into shape. I'm not getting into good shape. I'm just trying to get into shape.
Okay.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Circle is the shape.
Right? Thanks, Peter. How awful did you feel about yourself and your appearance and your physique when looking at 60-whatever-year-old Stephen Lang built like a Sherman tank?
Yes.
He
is.
The size and definition of his arms, his shoulders, and chest, I'm going, he will kick the shit out of me, let alone some little wiener like Money or Alex, because I could kick the shit out of Money or Alex.
Yeah, me too, at the same time.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this going, like when he first gets into a physical altercation with Money, and I went, oh, Money has no chance.
Yeah.
Then the multiple physical altercations with Alex, I'm going, oh, Alex has no chance, because Stephen Lang is huge.
Yeah, he's a monster. He looks awesome.
I just hope he's supplementing safely.
Yes.
Unlike Dwayne the Supplement Johnson.
What are you talking about? That's all natural, baby.
Yeah. Uh-huh. The only person who looks more like a freakazoid than him is his ex-wife, who looks exactly like him.
Scott Steiner.
Oh, God. I hated Big Papa Pump era Steiner.
I hated him, period. Yeah, even before.
I don't know. Back in the heyday with the Steiner brothers.
They were okay. I think they were a little overrated. But Big Papa Pump was...
that was too much.
Terrible.
We're not a wrestling podcast.
Terrible. And his matches were lame as shit. Oh, good. A forearm shiver. I haven't seen that in the last 5 minutes. Loser.
We're not a wrestling podcast.
Not yet.
More chaos ensues.
They do a nice Alex death fake out.
So, Blind Man, and that is his name in the credits,
yes.
Blind Man.
Yes, it is.
Beats the piss out of Alex and then goes to finish him off with a pair of hedge clippers and stabs in. But as you pointed out, this is a death fake out, which I called while I was watching it with my wife.
Did you?
Yeah. Because when they go in there, Alex bumps into something and we see Money's body fall. Because that's where his body was being stored.
Yes.
Then we see the hedge clippers go into black cloth. And I went, that's Money's jacket.
Nice.
But Blind Man thinks he kills Alex with hedge clippers, then goes to get Rocky. Gets Rocky, takes her downstairs. We get the exposition dump of how he's not a rapist, and there is no God, and a bunch of other stuff, and that the tied-up girl was pregnant with his new daughter. That girl killed Blind Man's daughter, so that girl's responsibility to make it right was to give him a new daughter.
Yeah.
Then explain, also, he kind of talks like Bane.
A little bit.
In this scene.
A little bit.
He talks a lot like Bane for some reason. My working theory was that he never talks.
Oh, yeah.
So his voice is probably all, garbly.
His vocal cords are not exercised.
They're not
enough.
tuned up, yeah. Then he explains, don't worry, I'm not a rapist, and then proceeds to kind of rape her. Okay. He has Rocky all tied up in the apparatus, then has her hoisted into the air via sex swing, then cuts a particular section of her pants out, goes to a freezer, pulls out a jar of cinnamon. Here's the thing. I think I've talked before. I personally have had fertility issues. I've had to go through a lot of this. I have had to go through surgeries for this. So all these women who are like, men don't know what it takes to go through or what you have to go through to have kids. I know. I had a micro-tessie. So you don't tell me, right? But the amount of semen he has saved up
Holy Jesus. I literally thought it was like a mayonnaise jar.
Because it's filled like
It's
a mayonnaise
filled.
jar.
I mean, what else has he been doing? And he's kind of alone and bored.
So he has to be jerking it 18 times a day, and even frozen. Because essentially you'd have to just jerk off into the frozen and then freeze it. Like you'd have layers.
Oh, yeah, he has layers.
Almost like an archaeologist or a paleontologist digging through the different age levels of rock.
It's like a 7-layer dip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of that's not viable. The way he's going about it, most of that is not viable. But he unthaws it, fills a turkey baster. Now he's like, I'm not a rapist. I never raped her, and I'm not going to rape you. Except he's still going to non-consensually insert something. I believe that still qualifies.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
That qualifies.
Yeah,
right?
that does qualify. The moment when he's walking towards her with that turkey
holding the
baster.
baster like Michael Myers holds a knife.
Yes, and then the end is dripping like your nose. I'm like,
I don't have to bring my nose into this. Actually, it's funny you gag. I had a gag moment.
I was not. No, I was uncomfortable.
He explains, you will give me a daughter, and then in 9 months, I will give you your life back. And we all just move on like this never happened. Then, Alex's death fake out, Alex comes in with the save and beats him with a hammer. And somehow, old man survives this.
Tough old man.
That's true. He's huge.
He is huge.
Alex saves Rocky, gets her down.
Alex.
Oh, that's true. He hits with about as much force as a screen door. Actually, I've been nailed by No, I was a child. No, Alex probably hits with about as much force as a closing screen door. Gets Rocky down. They handcuff him. Let him live for reasons.
Well, he's not a killer. Alex is not a killer.
Alex got no balls. His life was almost taken like 3 times by this point.
And his big thought is, let's just tie him up here and call the police.
Call the police. So that's what they decide to do. So they, in the process, so once Rocky is let down, she lets out all of her I was almost raped rage and anguish out, and she begins beating up the old man and ends up jamming the turkey baster down his throat.
Yes, she
which
does.
Caused me to gag as he coughs and spits up a bunch of cinnamon. Like the cinnamon challenge, he's coughing up cinnamon. And I gagged, and I went, why did I just gag? Semen doesn't bother me. Don't take that out of context. Shut up. I just heard it when I said it. Shut up.
I mean, all the time, turkey basters and semen it's fine. It's a normal Friday night.
I know how to party.
I don't have a problem. That's how I baste my turkeys anyway.
But I was like, wait, why did I just gag? You know what got me? How far down his throat it goes.
Oh,
That's what triggered my gag reflex. Because you've got the turkey baster, then the black ball, the suction ball.
Yeah. It's to the ball.
It goes so far down his mouth and down his throat that his lips are around the ball. That's what got me.
Yeah. You know that hit that little hangy down thing?
Yeah.
And probably hurt really bad.
Hurt really bad. You know that probably hurt really bad. That dang old turkey baster, man, that'll get you. That'll hurt real bad. They go to escape. They're unlocking all the front door locks, and then gunshots ring out. Alex is shot multiple times, and he does, in fact, just die. While he's dying, Rocky gets out. And then she runs like 100 yards. And the old man's at the door, and she's like, ha, you're useless out here, old man. Eat shit. I escaped. Nana, nana, boo boo. And I'm going, what are you doing?
Stupid final girl.
She's gloating.
A little bit.
Then as she's gloating, it cuts back to her view of the old man, and his dog walks out onto the porch.
Hell yes, he does.
And she goes, "Oh, God." And I just went, "Oh, yeah. I was with you until you started gloating. I was with you until you were just so insufferably unlikable. And now I hope the dog gets you." Dog chases her back to their getaway car. Getaway car doesn't have keys in it because the keys are with money.
Sure.
She ends up, so the dog, we get a very Cujo moment.
Very much, yes. I thought the exact same
This
thing.
is a Cujo moment. I can't be told different. I choose to take it as an homage.
Absolutely, yes.
And not a
Rip-off?
Rip-off?
Blatant copy?
A Black Adam?
Black Adam?
It was an homage to Cujo. But she does eventually, using her wits, traps the dog in the trunk, and I thought that was cool. That was crafty. I liked that. So she gets out, she gets her money, and she's like, "Oh, God, it's finally over." And I'm like, "Run! What are you doing? Did you forget there are two of them?" Because the dog's detained, to which the old man immediately shows up and beats the bejesus out of her and knocks her out.
And then drags her
by her hair
back to the house.
Back to the house. So we get either the call. So no matter what, it's a callback to the opening shot. Now it is up for debate as if the opening shot is Rocky and what we saw was a flash forward that ruined any sympathy or empathy we could have for the old man, or if it was just some kind of huge continuity error or what, I don't know. Also, I want to point this out. We see the blind man punch Money. We see him punch Alex a whole bunch of times. Then we see him punch Rocky. And I was noticing it throughout. It was this third time with Rocky that I was like, okay, I'm really watching. Because every time Stephen Lang throws a punch and hit, so the old man punches one of these kids, it is brutal. And I can't figure out why. So I'm watching him hit Rocky. And that made me feel weird. But if you notice, he's not throwing a big movie punch. He is throwing these quick, sharp, super impactful, like rabbit punches.
Mm-hmm.
They're not jabs, but they're just these real short, super impactful, just bam, 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 bam. And instead of throwing like one punch, he throws like 3 punches really quickly. And they look brutal.
Yeah, they look cool.
And they sound great. Of it just bam.
Goes back to the sound design.
But there's also, whether it was a directing choice or an acting choice or both or whatever, the way the blind man throws those punches,
yeah, I like it a lot,
is brutal. Looks great. He drags Rocky back into the house. She realizes, gonna get inseminated. Apologizes to Alex because he was right. They should have never done this. And she blames herself, and rightly so. Looks in his hand. Alex has the alarm remote.
Yes, he does.
So she reaches over, gets the remote, turns the alarm on. And now, in the beginning, the alarm was on, and it was very quiet. So quiet, it didn't sleep the waking house occupant. Now it's so loud that it throws off his super hearing.
He's like Venom.
And he's just like, "Oh, my ear!" Ah! as he's completely like discombobulated and useless. Like he has super hearing and they hit him with an amplifier. What am I trying? Remember in The Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton?
Yeah.
And they get those sonic cannons, which was cool, but that's what he was acting like. I'm like, just kill her. What are you doing?
We probably can't find her where she's at because his Daredevil sonar is screwed up.
Like, this is weird. He's blind. He's not a superhero or a supervillain in this case. He doesn't have superpowers. This would not be so loud that he's rendered useless or helpless, depending on how you want to look at it. She knocks him out with a crowbar. While falling through the basement door with his gun, it goes off. It shoots him in like the ribs. She gets her money and escapes. As the cops are coming, she's able to run across the street and make a clean getaway with like the $1 million she found, because somehow this guy turned $300K into $1 million.
Yeah, they don't
explain how he has $1 million just sitting in a safe, but he does. I don't know. Then Rocky escapes with her sister. They're headed to the train to go to California and then sees the news footage of local hero and veteran or wounded veteran was found near death in his home as two hoodlums broke in. He was able to kill them both, but not before sustaining life-threatening injuries. He is currently at the hospital and in stable condition and is expected to make a full recovery. Rocky's not really sure how she feels about this, but you know what? It doesn't matter. She takes her little sister, by the hand. They've got their money. They get on the train and go live a better life.
Wait for that sequel.
How? I don't even know what the sequel is. I know there is one, and I know they're working on a third. How does this movie... Does he track her down? Does he find her?
I don't know. I've never seen the second one.
I don't want to watch the second one.
I don't either, honestly.
If we could just never do horror movie sequels, that would be swell. We're there. Was there anything you wanted to touch on that we breezed through there at the end?
No.
All
actually, we touched everything that I wanted to touch on.
So my bad. I don't feel good. I forgot. What is your history with this movie?
Movie. My history with this movie. Okay.
Touché.
I watched the trailer for this
back in 2016.
Back when it was getting released in theaters.
2016.
Was it 2016?
It was 2016. I assure you, it's 2016.
Okay, so I saw the trailer for it, and I was I wasn't excited for it. Because for one, I was like, I don't want to see a movie about a group of kids that break into this guy's home, and we're supposed to root for this group of kids somehow.
Well, right, because I remember those trailers too, because it clearly sets up the old blind guy is the killer.
Yeah.
But you're just watching it going, am I just supposed to cheer for the killer?
Exactly.
You know what it made me think of back then and still kind of makes me think of now? What was that movie, The Last House on the Left?
Oh, yeah, where the woman gets
assaulted, makes it to her parents' house.
Oh, wait. Never mind. I'm thinking of something different, but go ahead.
Do I have the title right?
I think you do.
And then there's a big storm or whatever, and these strangers need help.
Yes.
And come to find out the strangers are the people who assaulted this girl, and they're all at the parents' house. And then the parents enact righteous retribution. And so you're kind of rooting for them. Like, there's no way you can't root for them. You're supposed to root for them.
Correct.
So like you watching this trailer, I remember thinking, is that what this is?
Yeah. So I really didn't care to watch it. But then I think I rented it one time. I don't remember exactly. But I ended up watching it.
Sure.
And your thoughts of the whole empathy should have came first with the kids.
Yes.
If it wasn't for that opening shot of the blind man dragging that woman, if they would have started with the break-in and then went to the empathy seeking scene with her and her sister,
sure,
I would have been like, I hate these kids, they're terrible. And then, oh, okay, I see what she's doing. But then she goes into this blind man's house, which we know nothing about. And we're like, God damn it, I still hate these kids because they're breaking into this old blind war vet's house.
Right.
But then we find out what he is. So our feelings are constantly kind of jumping back and forth.
Right. So my question is, how am I wrong? You said I was kind of wrong. I don't think I am.
Well, you have to put the empathy part first.
No, you definitely have to do that.
See, I didn't need that first. I still felt for Rocky as a character,
but not as much.
No, I mean, I don't
promise you, if they had swapped those, you
think
would
so?
have cared for Rocky. I didn't care what happened to a single character in this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they messed up the order. They did it wrong.
I felt myself flip-flopping a couple of times. But I think I would have definitely preferred that intro be gone.
Oh, no matter what, that intro needs to go.
But yeah, I remember watching this and I was like, okay, I like this. This is a good movie.
Yeah.
And then here we are.
I have no history with this movie. I knew it was a thing. I remember the trailers. I don't do horror movies. And that's the end of it. I went, oh, horror movie. I don't care. That's not for me.
Okay.
And now here we are.
Here we are.
So Tevis, okay. Ratings.
Ratings time.
IMDb 7.1. Rotten Tomatoes 88%.
Wow.
Yes.
That's high.
And a pretty decent gap between the two.
Yes, it is. What did our reviewers think?
Ebert.com.
Ebert.com. God damn it.
Don't Breathe is a tight, confined thriller, the kind of morality play that toys with the audience loyalty.
Okay. I like that.
Except that's what they were going for, and they got their order wrong, and the movie doesn't. 3 stars.
Okay.
3 stars. 3 stars.
3 stars.
3 stars.
3 stars.
Tevis.
I'm repeating what you're saying. 3 stars.
The Guardian. Alvarez doesn't rely on jump scares. It's the slow roll of dread that works far better. 4 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
4 stars.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
3 out of 4 stars. What?
I'm just repeating what they're saying.
No, and I'm asking you, what?
Are you asking for my final thought?
No, I'm asking you, what?
3 out of 4. 4 out of 5. 5 out of 6.
Stop it. All right. Final thoughts time, Tevis. You start.
Okay.
I need to percolate.
Okay. While you're simmering over there.
That's right. I don't even know if I'm simmering. My mind is a whirling cosmos. And I'm trying to rein it in and understand how I feel about this movie.
Okay. So this movie for me, at the beginning, I hated the 3 kids. Definitely hated Money. When Money died, I actively jumped up and down on my couch like Tom Cruise and cheered.
Dated reference?
I know. Yes, it was, but I don't care. Yeah, I had no care in the world for that asshole. I hated him. I found myself kind of flip-flopping when the first time I watched this. Not this second watch through because I already knew everything.
Bold claim. I knew
everything there was to know about everything. I found myself going back and forth on the characters of the 2 kids and the blind man.
Sure.
Sitting down for this watch through, I'd already established I liked Rocky. I liked her motivation. Even though it was a little bit tropish, it still worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
The sound design was fantastic. You heard every single footstep, every breath, every crunch, every drip.
I dropped my hanky.
I saw that.
And I was having a hard time picking it up. And now he's laughing at me like a giant bully.
I almost wanted to
I feel bullied.
I wanted to use my foot and drag it away from you so you couldn't reach it.
You don't want to touch this one.
I was afraid to at the same time and be stuck to my sock. Oh, it's like the floor of that basement.
Rocky's couch.
Money's couch.
Money doesn't have a couch.
The tense moments in this movie are outstanding. There are a lot of them, and it never seems to be the same one multiple times. I don't know 100% how I feel about the insemination scene.
The attempted
insemination scene. That's hard to say. Stephen Lang was awesome. I love Stephen Lang. He's a great actor. I like him as this character, but I don't want to see the sequel, if that makes sense. I kind of wish I would have watched this in the theater.
Oh, for the sound?
For the sound and just... I took my daughter to see A Quiet Place, day 1. And the audience in there. I've never been in a group so large where nobody says a word because they're scared to say anything, scared to breathe. And I feel like this movie would have definitely given you that vibe as well. This movie's worth the ticket price. It's very, very tense, edge of your seat.
So before I start mine, I do want to bring this up. I can't remember which review it was. It was either the Ebert.com or the Guardian. They talked about seeing it in the theater, and they're like, not used to going to a movie that's full of so many quiet moments. And then it got to the point where just everyone in the audience was just heckling.
Oh, really?
Just like, you stupid bitch, you go in there, I'll kill you myself. What are you doing? Stuff like that. And then the reviewer, the critic was like, normally I have like a really harsh opinion on movie talkers, but it got to the point where it's like there was nothing else to do to fill the noise or to fill the void. So I found myself doing the same thing. So there's a good chance you'd have gone and it would have just been people just being like, what are you doing? He gonna get you.
Here comes the dog.
Yeah. And I thought that was funny. All right. I almost said A Quiet Place. Don't Breathe. I left my watch of it talking to my wife thinking, you know what? I think this one might just be worth the ticket price. She disagreed. As I've been thinking about it, and as we've been talking about it, now I'm not so sure.
Okay. Talk to me. Let's get there. Let's get there.
I'm trying.
I'll help you. I'll help you along.
Help me out. Help me out.
We'll change your opinion. Let's
hold me, Daddy.
I don't like that.
It's hard for me to get past what I believe to be fairly egregious writing faux pas.
Okay.
Take that away. Set that aside. Put that aside. I just don't care about any of these one-dimensional characters. Even Rocky, we get a moment where it's like, oh no, she's doing this for her sister. I'm like, lame. Trope. And here's something too.
You're right.
I don't care about her sister.
You don't care about the kid? Kid?
The kid who doesn't talk and I see for 5 seconds.
She says, I really want to surf.
Oh, that's right. She talks about wanting to surf despite being a Detroit native. So she
can dream, damn it.
She might be an idiot.
She can dream. I'm sure you can surf trash in Detroit.
Oh, here comes the garbage wave. Watch out for the hypodermics.
And turkey basters. Don't forget that. Stay far away from those.
But it's like, there's something here, but I don't. It's not. This movie is not for me. It's also not scary. And it's supposed to be a horror movie.
It's not scary. It's tense.
The blurb on the cover of the Blu-ray case that you let me borrow says the scariest American horror film in 20 years.
I don't think it's the scariest.
Go get it. Go look it up. I'll wait.
Go ahead.
As he looks that up, I'm pretty sure it does. It's definitely not that. It's not that at all. I don't know. Like, isn't a horror movie supposed to be scary? Now, this movie does do several things well. There's several good moments with fantastic tension. I love the sound design when it gets quiet, because they got to be quiet, and then all the little bumps and creaks and noises. That's great. I love the layout of the house and how they've mapped it as far as this scene interacts with this room that then falls into this room, whether new or one we've already been to. That staging is great. I really like that. That's well done. I got to make a decision.
Now, you and I both know. And by the way, it says best American horror film in 20 years. Not scariest.
Oh.
But you and I both know horror movies, don't necessarily have to be scary, because people take that feeling of whatever else they're feeling and, oh my God, it's so scary. No, this
Right,
wasn't scary.
but I don't think that I think that's a misclassification then. If it's not scary, it's not a horror movie. It's a thriller. I'm thrilled.
Then this isn't a horror movie.
Right. So you're saying that horror movies don't have to be scary. I think my argument is yeah, they do. And this is a misclassified thriller.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
But I'm not sure. That's a debate for another time.
True.
Will I ever watch this again? No. But I have to make a decision. I didn't let you cop out, so I can't cop out. 2016's Don't Breathe. Is it worth the ticket price? Yes. If this is the kind of thing you're into, you will be into it. The tension is great. It really just ramps up that thrilled aspect, that tension, that oh my God, what's going to happen next? I wish I could say more, but as a movie, the writing of this movie is its greatest flaw, and it holds it back from being something special. This is an average, mediocre horror movie, but if you enjoy thrillers, if you enjoy tension, if you enjoy this kind of thing, it's worth the ticket price. You'll have a good time. So yeah. I guess this one breaks the streak, but I don't feel like it deserves it.
Kind of piddled over the finish line.
It petered out.
Yeah.
Man. Nope, I changed my mind.
Nope, can't do it. Already said
this movie doesn't deserve to break the streak. It's not worth it.
Thank you
even if you are
for listening to Ticket Price.
Move on.
Next week we will be continuing. Are you flip flopping?
Yeah.
Okay.
They fuck you in the final thoughts. They get you all the way to the final thoughts, and then they fuck you in the final thoughts. They know you've listened so long that you're gonna keep listening. I'm sorry. You know what? I said it, and now as I think about it, no, even if you are into this sort of thing, there's nothing to write home about. It's not special. It's somewhat unique, but it's written poorly enough. It's not. No, there are other horror movies. This one's not even scary. I changed my mind. It's not worth the ticket price. My negativity streak continues as I continue to wait for a good movie.
If I pause long enough, will you flop to the other side?
I flipped, but will I flop? What movie are we doing next week?
I think Fede Alvares is overrated.
Okay. I'm not familiar with his body of work, so I can't comment on that.
Well, he did the Evil Dead remake.
Didn't see it.
Which was good. I enjoyed it. But everybody raved about him doing Alien Romulus, and that thing is a turd.
I was going to say Romulus sucks.
Not Alien. Alien Romulus.
Yeah, that movie sucks.
That movie sucks. And then him and this guy that wrote this film wrote that Texas Chainsaw Massacre bullshit on Netflix.
Oh, that one's atrocious.
That was terrible.
That's awful.
Terrible.
I also don't totally understand how it fits in with the overall continuity of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, because it had the final girl from the original, and she supposedly comes back, but that actress is dead. So they used some other woman to play her. And
right, but in the beginning, there was that old lady who had adopted Leatherface, except Leatherface was a grown-ass man in the original. So where was this adoption happening?
Who knows? Trash movie. Another Netflix movie. Anyway.
Red flag. Anyway. Red flag.
Yeah, your red flags are 3 writers.
Writer, director. Netflix.
Mine so far, just Netflix.
3 writers. Don't even lie.
I'm still on the fence there. How many writers did this have? This had 3 writers, so had 2. I was looking at stuff.
It had a writer-director though.
Oh, that's true.
You don't believe in the 3-writer curse?
Not yet.
What?
One more movie.
You're flip-flopping on the writer curse.
Give me one more movie. I'll give it one more chance.
All right.
One more chance.
Okay.
How many writers did this have?
What is this? What is our next movie? Also, is this the last one for our...
This is our last horror movie for Spooktober.
Such an idiot.
Well, I'm sorry. I got distracted by your massive sneeze.
I had to sneeze.
And the side of your nose glistening from the snot droplet.
I'm wiping myself off. Don't take that out of context. Get out of my face. I might sneeze on you.
I am afraid you will.
That's you. Oh, great, Ron. What? I sneezed. I can't sneeze.
I know exactly what you're doing with a cat jumping into the pool.
Oh no, it's this deer comes up to feed. It's like right in front of their window, and they're watching it. And Ron sneezes, and it freaks out and runs away. And she's like, "Oh, good, Ron." He's like, "What? I sneezed. I'm not allowed to sneeze."
And the way she says, "Ron," oh, good one, Ron.
Yeah, Ron. What is our next movie?
Okay, our last one for October.
You have one final chance to scare me. I have not been scared all October.
You're welcome. I know how much you don't like horror movies, so
It's true. I get real sweaty.
I'm being nice to you. And what thanks do I get? I get snotted on.
Well, mostly I'm waiting for you to pick a good movie.
Okay, we're doing 2010.
Okay.
The Crazies. This is a remake of a George Romero film.
Gross.
From the 70s.
George Romero's overrated.
George Romero was fantastic.
No, he's overrated.
This stars Timothy Olyphant.
Underrated.
Very underrated.
I like Tim.
I do too. And Rhoda Mitchell.
I don't know who that is.
That is an actress. And that's all I know.
Shocking. I'm shocked. You know what I was going to say before you said it was a remake? I'm trying to think The Crazies. At first, my thought was that one of the Rob Zombie sequels, what was it, like House of a Thousand Corpses? And then it was
House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects.
The Devil's Rejects.
And then
was there another?
3 from Hell.
Okay. See, my first thought was maybe The Crazies was one of those.
No.
But since it's not, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
I've never heard of The Crazies. But you see my train of thought, though.
Oh, absolutely.
For not knowing what it was, I'm like, is that one of the Rob Zombie trilogy? I can't remember.
Nope.
Okay.
This has 3 writers.
Gross.
But they also credit George A. Romero as a writer, so I'm assuming it's giving him just credit for the original. So
gross.
That's what we will be doing next week.
Okay.
The Crazies.
The Crazies. Well.
And then we get to revisit The Hat.
Then The Hat comes back.
The Hat has been 2 months?
2 months.
2 months
It's been on hiatus for 2 months.
Man, I hope we get something good out of that sumbitch.
We have to knock the dust off it first.
No doubt.
All right, everyone.
That's your job.
To knock the dust off of it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just sneeze.
Chew
and just blow all the dust
that'll
off.
Give us time to let the Post-it notes dry.
Isn't there a cartoon iteration of the Three Little Pigs where instead of huffing and puffing, the wolf has a really bad cold? And it's his sneezes that keeps knocking the houses down?
Probably.
I'm pretty sure it is. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Jake. That's Tevis. We are Ticket Price. This has been... What are you laughing at? This has been... My tummy's growling. I'm hungry for dinner. This has been... Don't Breathe. That's what this movie was. Don't Breathe. Tune in next week as we check out The Crazies. As always, if you haven't already, please hit that follow button, hit the bell to turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our episodes, the main ones or the bonus ones. We have a Patreon, ticket price, $3 subscription. If you feel generous and want to support us in that manner, we would greatly appreciate it, but certainly not necessary. Take care of yourselves and your bills first. Let us know in the comments if you got bingo. And be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Good night.